Hello and welcome to Divine Downloads. I'm your host, Cassandra, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a meditation to help you release any heaviness around your big vision and allow your dreams to magnetize you and move you forward. And this is my first time doing this on the podcast. It will be both on YouTube as a video and on the podcast as an audio so that you can choose your preference, and we're going to see if that works for you guys. I'm going to chat a little bit with you beforehand about why I think this is such an important meditation for you to do if you're stuck in overwhelm right now, if you find yourself getting pummeled down by the weight of the grandeur of your vision, or if you find yourself getting deflated after you start thinking about your dreams or your goals. And then I will write in the notes below the marker where the actual meditation starts. If you come back and do this meditation again, you can jump straight to the meditation. But before we get into that, I want to share with you something super special that I'm just opening up the doors for. I'm offering a 72-hour clarity breakthrough. I call it my antidote to overwhelm. It is literally a one-on-one weekend with me where I walk you through my 8-step process to release any overwhelm and anxiety and limiting fear blocks to your big vision. Get super clear on your divine download for what you're meant to do in this next chapter of your life, and help you have the strategic tools along with the spiritual guidance so that you hit the ground running and gain some serious momentum. So if that sounds juicy to you, if that sounds interesting, if you're really ready to just nip this overwhelm in the bud and get into some massive momentum, click the link below, fill out an application, and if you're a good fit, we'll hop on a call and chat more about that. And for everyone else, I know that you're listening to this because obviously on some level, you have a big juicy dream. And I've been working with women that have big juicy dreams for 8 years now. In fact, it is probably the only kind of women that I really attract because I am that. And one of the things that I know, both from my personal experience and from my work with other women, is that when you have a big vision, more than likely, it starts to paralyze you, or it starts to feel heavy. It can overwhelm you before it actually gives, sometimes we hear that, oh, be pulled by your vision, allow your vision to rise you up, right? We hear that sometimes, right? But in a lot of our day-to-day experiences, especially the experiences of my client, but as well for myself at different points in my journey, when I saw the magnitude of where I wanted to rise to, and then I thought about all the different steps that it might take to get there. Or sometimes I just had no idea what even the steps were, how to get there. It put me in stagnation. It paralyzed me. It put me in self-sabotage. It stopped me from making any progress forward. It confused any clarity. I started second guessing myself. And I've seen this time and time again with my clients. So I've really developed this, system to help work people through it in a really fast and efficient way so they can get to the good stuff, which is being in the momentum, which is being in the joy, being in the flow, and knowing that you're moving towards that big vision with speed and happiness, right? Happiness helps too. And so one of the key fundamentals is retraining your brain for how it feels when you think about your big vision. This is something that most of us don't consider because for so long, if you're someone that suffers from overwhelm, you just feel that what happens? You think about those big goals, those big dreams. Maybe you get excited. Maybe you're excited for a couple of moments. Maybe you're with some girlfriends and you're thinking about all the stuff and you're like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could start that business, right? And then you get in your own time. It's time to actually do some action. It's time to actually write the list of what are my 3 things I'm going to do today or whatever it is. And it feels like a ton of bricks hit your chest. It feels like all of a sudden you've got Everest to climb, and you don't got the right shoes, and you don't got the time, and you don't even know if you're going to survive, right? And now you're your brain, after so many experiences of feeling that, right? Because one of the things we talk about with the Course in Miracles or in a lot of spiritual trainings, the kind of default setting, the unconscious setting of the world is fear. So it's not your most expansive self. It's not your infinite potential or possibilities, right? We live in a world that without us doing the work will default into fear every time, right? And so it's not your fault, but now we're here and we can shift it because your brain and your neural pathways have been trained to think about that vision and now associate it with that feeling of overwhelm, of stagnation, of stuckness, of the boulders on your chest, of anxiety, whatever comes up for you. It's now become a physical pattern. And so, what this guided meditation is here to help you do, and that's why I also encourage you to do it multiple times so that you're retraining. Like I would, if you're committed to doing this, if you're committed to taking a step every day to get you out of overwhelm and into that clarity and that magnetism of your vision helping pull you forward, I would do this every day for at least 30 days, right? And retrain your brain to connect to that vision and be energized by it, to connect to that vision and feel momentum, to feel that magnetic pull, because that doesn't happen by accident, right? We've all tasted what that feels like. We've all had that moment where the dream comes in, or we talk about it with a girlfriend, or maybe we go to an awesome self-help seminar, or we're doing something and we taste the nectar. We taste the nectar of clarity and momentum and that divine download that comes through, and we're like, I can do anything. And then we go back to real life. We go back to our desk. We sit down with our to-do list. We go open up our Gmail, and it's almost like someone dumped a pile of rocks on us, and then we just stare. And then what happens? We pick up our handy-dandy phone and check out on Instagram. Or maybe we distract ourselves by color coding our laundry. Or maybe we're just like, oh, I just, I need to get all this stuff done for my 9-to-5 job. Or, I should actually worry about like Billy's soccer practice. Let me make sure I sign him up for the best soccer league or whatever, right? We distract ourselves because we feel such overwhelm. We feel so heavy when we connect to that big juicy vision of ours, and that stops us from actually creating the change we want. It stops us before we even get started, right? We fail at the gate, and sometimes we don't even think it's failure because we're like, well, is it failure if I don't even really try? Is it failure if I don't even know the first step, right? And so this meditation, if you're listening, it's for you. Obviously, you were called here for a reason. It's not an accident, right? You are listening to this because you have a desire. You want to feel differently about your big vision. You want it to lift you up. And what we're going to do is through this meditation, we are going to start having your brain build more associations with your vision and energy, your vision and excitement, your vision and an effortless energy of being magnetized forward, your vision and expansive thinking, your vision and rising up. Sound good? All right. Well, if you're driving, please don't do this while you're driving. Wait until you're in a quiet place where you can really tune in and go deep. And I am going to put the marker down. It'll be at the 10-minute mark, where if you do want to do this every day for a month, just, watch this video or listen to the audio and just fast forward to that 10-minute mark every day and just keep doing it until you're going to start noticing it in your life, that someone will ask you about something, or your day will start differently, and that big vision will actually inform some of the strategic action steps you take that day. that big vision is going to actually open up more possibilities and ideas for things you didn't even know you could do for it. So get excited. Let's dive in. Okay, take a deep breath in and out. Close your eyes. Get yourself into a nice, comfortable position that you can sit in. And just allow your breath to bring you into this present moment. Exhaling any thoughts from earlier today. Exhaling any thoughts about the future, about tonight, tomorrow, and just allowing your breath to bring you into this very moment, to be fully and completely here. Feeling your forehead soften, your shoulders melt. Feeling your wholeness, your full presence. And now I want you to bring your awareness from your head to your heart. So imagine a little pebble in the center of your head, and it just dropping down into your heart. And feeling your awareness go with it. And breathing into that heart space, waking it up with its beautiful golden light. Feeling it welcome your consciousness, your presence. This part of you is connected to the truth of who you really are. So as we bring up for ourselves whatever comes to mind when we think of our big vision for our life, for this next year, for this next season, we not only do it from our consciousness, but we welcome in the divine download of our highest expression of the grandest manifestation of who we are in this season, in this life. We welcome whatever comes up, allowing our heart's desires to rise to the top. Visions of the things, the goals, the dreams that are most present for us right now. And allowing whatever shows up to be perfect. Allowing them all to come together if there are multiple, there are different facets. And allowing them to form a picture or a movie in your mind's eye. This picture, this movie symbolizes your big vision, your next goal, your most present heart's desire. And it might have a bunch of things. It might just have one. And you're just allowing it to be whatever is true for you right now. And if as you hold this vision, as you sit with it in your mind's eye, any feelings of fear or anxiety, overwhelm, any heaviness that may or may not come up as you sit with it, I want you to just allow it to pass on by. Inhaling and exhaling, observing it, and letting it just float on by like a cloud. Moving along, as you keep your awareness anchored on this vision. And then as they continue to pass by, allowing yourself to anchor even deeper energetically into this vision, allowing yourself to feel the joy and the fulfillment of this desire made manifest, of this truth fully expressed. Feeling it in every particle of your body, soaking it up, as if it just happened, as if you're already living it, feeling it in every fiber, maybe even feeling a little giggle at the thought that you ever thought you might not get here. Feeling the tingles as you realize, as you accept fully that this desire, that this goal, that this dream, this vision was brought to you because it was part of your divine blueprint. Because it is on your path. Feeling this vision now rise above your mind's eye and hovering like a cloud above your head. This picture, this movie, 4, 6 feet above your head, and feeling the beautiful divine energy of this future vision pulling every particle of your being up, holding you to rise to a whole new version of you, almost like a puppeteer pulling you up by strings so that you can stand proud, so that you can stand in your fullness, so that you can create the space to hold this reality, breathing it in, letting it give you this medicine, letting it hold you up to a new evolution of yourself, to a new possibility for expansion. And now feeling that cloud move in front of you. It's now about 6 feet, 10 feet in front of you. And feeling its magnetic pull on your heart, pulling you forward from your heart center, guiding you with each next step so that you can move forward with grace and ease and trust that this dream, this vision is holding you every step of the way. That it's